Now, you usually know when you would see me by myself, you would say, hey, this must be the Bama segment, but now we got the 5-star segment. So again, like I told you, the kid's overworking me now, but I love this segment because it's the best segment on the show because we're talking just about Alabama. Football's over. It's clearly on basketball, and this team right here is as hot as can be. And I'm going to tell you what, if I didn't call it on this segment, look on last week's segment. And I said, in order to Bama to get to where they need to be, Sears has to get going, Grant Nelson has to get going, and when they beat Kentucky, which I called on this show, those two guys in particular are going to have to get going. Nelson, 25 points. Sears, 24 points. 13 to 34 from three-point land, and they get their first win in Rupp since 2005-2006 season, and the first win over a Kentucky team at Rupp in the top 10 since 2002. I called it. It happened. Check the tapes. Get your stars involved. This team is very star-driven. It's a good team, but when those guys are going, just like in the tournament last year, Bama is tough to beat. So what an unbelievable win for Bama. What an unbelievable win for Coach Oates. This is going to give this team so much momentum, just like I called, and it really led into the game last night. They beat Vanderbilt. They score 100 points again. So 102 to 97 in Kentucky, 103 to 87 last night against Vanderbilt. Sears, 21 points. Holloway was the other name I mentioned. He scores 22 points. Let your stars play. Here's what's interesting. Bama has been living and dying by the three. And I told you last week that you cannot live and die by the three and win all the games in March. Eventually, you're going to not shoot well. So you have to have somewhat of an inside presence. And I look back at those great Gator teams when they won back-to-back, because that to me is the standard, winning back-to-back national championships. Nobody on their team averaged over 13 points. But they worked the ball inside. And when Humphrey wasn't shooting from the outside, Horford and Noah were making on the inside. Or Brewer was slashing from the wing. It's a team game. Your stars have to play well, and Bama's got stars. But eventually, you're going to have to get the inside going. And my gosh, if I didn't predict it coming, or see it coming, I didn't predict it, but I said you didn't need to live and die by three. Nate Oates was thinking the exact same thing. And they went to Diabate. He had 22 points. He was 8 of 9 or 9 of 10 from the field. I got it right here. But they finally said, hey, we can't live and die by the three. We just can't do it anymore. And they said, we're going to make it a effort to go inside, get the big guys involved, and really become a complete team. You can't just win just passing the ball. You can't just win just running the ball. It has to be a joint effort by both sides of the ball, too, offense and defense. They say defense wins the national championships, well, you got to score points. So, to me, this was a huge adjustment for Nate Oates. They self-scouted themselves a little bit and said, you know what, we can't shoot all these threes. We can't continue to win games and do this. So, yes, Muhammad Diabate was the leading scorer. He goes 8 of 9. I was right. 8 of 9 for 22 points, 10 rebounds. Nelson has 10, Stevenson has 10, and Sears has 21. But again, this to me shows me the maturity of Oates, the maturity of this basketball team. This team is a favorite to win the national championship, and they proved this week that they can turn back from a bad loss at home, they can go win on the road against a top 10 team, and they can really make the adjustments, which they're going to have to do come March. They're going to make the tournament. This SEC play is going to be a gauntlet to get through, but if they can continue to make adjustments and really self-scout themselves to become the best version of Alabama basketball, that's the team that can go win a national championship. Final Four, they've done it. That was the goal. Obviously, national championship goal, but Bama's never made a Final Four. They've done it. Sears came back for a reason, and that's to win a national championship. And I'm thinking Auburn, with Broome not being as consistent as he has, they would probably have been the national championship favorite to start the year. I think Bama's making their way. And if they're scoring 100 points, which they've done more than anybody this year, they're going to be tough to beat, and they're going to be national championships. So here, I'm calling it today. After the Vanderbilt game, Alabama's going to win the national championship in basketball. Watch it here on Tide and Tigers. Hold up. We're back. Breaking news. I'm not leaving this a chance because he broke the Bill Belichick news. We do have breaking news. I know we're on our basketball section of the Tide and Tigers. The Detroit Lions have hired a head football coach. I got Chance in the background. Do you know who you think it is?
I'm trying to see. I don't know. Who is it?
Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions.
Got bumped up. Okay.
No, not just bumped up. Ben Johnson was their offensive coordinator. He's going to the Bears.
Ooh.
We should have announced that earlier. That was a big news, happened yesterday or 2 days ago. So Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, is going to the Bears. Their defensive coordinator is going to the Jets. They don't go offensive for Aaron Rodgers. They go defensive, which was Sauce and those young guys, probably the best idea for the future. So now they get a DC and Glenn. Lions lose both their coordinators.
I thought you were saying the Lions hired.
No, the Jets did.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Jets get Glenn from Detroit. The Bears get Johnson from Detroit. Dan Campbell's got to rehire he got to figure out what he's going to do after getting embarrassed by the Commanders, and also now replace both coordinators. We're not replacing anybody, but we're here for you. Breaking news. Tide and Tigers.
Breaking news.